All right, now once we've had experience with, learning about slopes and we've plotted some points, we've drawn some lines, now our next thing that we need to learn how to do is actually to write the equation of a line. So now I want you to know from the get-go that there are three different forms of a line. Now I'm going to talk about them one at a time because they each have very different and very specific purposes. Our first, and I went ahead and put in here our formula for a slope just in case anybody has forgotten that, so you may want to take a minute and make note of that. Anytime, though, our directions say write the equation of a line, then you have to have two things. You have to have a point and you have to have the slope. Those are just two things that you must have in order to write the equation of a line. Now we always have our slope, we always use the letter M to represent it, and our point we can call some x1, y1, the x and the y values of that first point. If we have these two things, which we must have, then the equation that we use to write the form of a line is this formula: y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And do you see how kind of very similar it is to the slope formula? It's really just a variation of that slope formula. Alright, so I want you to get it into your mind that no matter what, this is how we start writing equations. Okay, let's do a quick example of that. Here we have a slope that they've given us and a point. Now that's exactly what we said we needed. We needed a point in the slope, and I'm going to label this as x1, y1 so that we can plug it in to where it goes into our formula. Our formula says y minus y1. So it would be y minus our y1 here is a 4 equals, now we're supposed to put in the slope, the m, which they gave us to be 8/9, times x minus the x1 value. I'm just following the formula. The x1 value is 8. Now technically this is point slope form of a line. So if they don't tell us specifically how to write the form, then we could leave it like that technically. But of course that's not how they're going to have us do it. Generally, whenever we start writing the equation of a line, and remember the one we just did was y minus 4 equals 8/9 times x minus 8. Generally we don't leave it in this form. In order to finish it out, we write it in what's called slope-intercept form of a line. Basically, we just solve this for y. So let's go ahead and do that. In order to do that, we're going to have to distribute out our 8/9, so that becomes y minus 4 equals 8/9 x minus 64/9. Alright, now in order to get y alone, we would have to add 4 to both sides. So we would have y equals 8/9 x, but here we would have to say a negative 64/9 plus 4. Well, instead of writing 4, we're going to add 4 in the form of 36/9 because 36/9 is 4. So subtracting that, we just got a common denominator. So subtracting there, we should end up with a negative 28/9. Now this is in perfect slope-intercept form, where the number in front of the x is our slope, and this value here is our y-intercept. And we'll pick up from there in the next video.